Stella, I got you live. Christmas, you're live also. Hey folks, Lester here, hanging out with Stella, Christmas, Trixie, and Sandy's here somewhere. We also have Sandy. I don't know where Sandy's at right now. But we are at the JL Ranch property, and we're driving towards the back to hang out and do this live with the cows. Don't worry, I've closed and locked all of my gates. There's no cows going to get out during this live. If you don't know what I'm talking about, let me just say that yesterday was quite the fiasco. And Lester, I don't even know where to start. Let me start by getting down here with these cows and getting everyone seeing what our babies are up to. Now, I'm using StreamYard from my phone. I don't always do that. And in saying so, I can't turn my camera around to face the other direction. So I can't show you what I'm looking at until I get over here, and I'll put the cows in the backdrop behind me. But you can see I got a couple of good girls right here riding on the side-by-side with me. And I have another good girl over there leading the way. And I don't know where Sandy's at. Sandy must be laying around the truck. Oh no, here she comes. Sandy, I just saw her. She's right there. Sandy, hey baby, you want to ride? She's like, no, I'm just going to run. I want to tell you something, and I don't know if you'll get this or not, but all of the cows are over here laying down. Guys, a cow would not be laying down unless their bellies were content. If they're full. They're full. And I love that. It was very rare you could ever catch the cows laying down back at the other property because they were constantly in search for food. And that makes me feel really sad. But now, of course, the calves are up and they think it's time for them to eat. It is not time for babas. But everyone else is just laying around, just having a nice afternoon, laying around. Hi, sweetie. Hello, mister. Isn't that a lovely backdrop right there? If I had a tripod, I could just put my camera right here, and that would be a great backdrop. Hello, handsome. Have you ever wondered how he feels being here with all of these ladies and having no competition? He has no competition in the other males. Oh, Lord. Ruby, you're not going to ride the side-by-side, Ruby. Ruby is over there trying to get to know Sandy. Sandy might want to be careful. Trixie knows to stay close to Daddy. Look out, Trixie. You got trouble coming up on you. Jolene, you need to be sweet to these dogs. Sweetie, baby, you're not going to bite my hand. So I did bring some snacks along with me. I do have snacks in the back of the side-by-side, but you'll have to let me have a chance to get to them. And give me a couple of minutes here. Ruby and Danny, why are you guys getting in the side-by-side? Ruby and Danny, you cannot get in the side-by-side. Oh, my gosh. Poor Stella. She's like, what's going on here? Stella did not sign up for all of this. Stella's like, I did not sign up for all of this nonsense. Sandy's keeping her distance. Sandy's being pretty smart. I do have some of y'all's favorite snacks. And what I'm going to do is get out of the side-by-side and set my camera up. I'm just going to lean it along the side-by-side and feed some snacks. I'm not able to read any comments. I mean, I can try to read them. Yes, yesterday was a wild, wild west showdown, says Anna Marie. And it certainly was. Danny and Ruby, I did not bring babas, girls. I did not bring babas. Let me get out. And I will show everyone what I did bring. If I can get my camera to sit here. Sorry y'all are stuck on my belly for a minute. I have some snacks. I'm going to put them on the ground. You all come get some snacks. You want some? They are so full that some of them are not even getting up. Here, sweetie. Danny, all right. Ruby, careful. This is how people get hurt, Jolene. Jolene will rake her horns across you. She will not try to stick them in you, but she will rake them across you, and that hurts so bad. You're going to hurt Daddy's ribs, Jolene. Jolene, you're going to hurt me in the ribs. That's how you hurt people in the ribs, Jolene. You hurt my ribs like that. And I cannot afford to be laid up. I cannot afford to be laid up right now. All right, that's enough. That's all the snacks we need, Jolene. I just told you to hush it up, settle down. That's all the snacks we're getting right now. Jolene, you need to just back up. Jolene? Get off, Jolene. Move. Jolene was trying to get me. Sheesh, Jolene. Woo-wee. Move, Danny. Sweetie, you need to get... Baby, I can't sit back if you're hiding behind me because you're still scared. You don't got to be scared of these girls. They're fine. They just want babas. So how you guys doing? How are you all? Stop biting my leg. Scoot over, Stella. Scoot over. Lots going on today. That's good. Okay, where were we? Well, so yesterday was a pretty exciting day here at the property. I'll fill you in on what happened in case you missed the live. I did go live. I went live on Facebook. Stop doing that. You're biting me in the legs, the lower legs, and that's ticklish. Babies, settle down. You're not that hungry. They're just spoiled. Just so darn spoiled. Be sweet to that dog. You might want to, y'all need to be sweet to my dogs. And then what happened was I got out of the truck and I called all the calves over and the cows to come to me because I was excited about saying hi to them. And I forgot to put the feed out first. And then the problem with that is that they got up there to where I normally feed them and there was no feed out. And they were not happy about that. So when I go to the truck to get the bottles to feed the calves first, I didn't close the gate behind me. Everyone came out. They all come out of the gate. And boy, they were not happy that there was no food out. And then they realized, hey, there's another pasture up here. Another pasture for real? And they went off. They just went hog wild. They just went oh no, look out. Look out. You need to, come on. Get on here and hurry. Come on, get on here. Come on. Get on here, hurry. I don't know what that noise was. You might want to look out, Sandy. Sandy, they're going to get you. These guys don't mess around, y'all. They don't mess around. You have to have your head on a swivel. You do. You must have your head on a swivel at all times. And then, yeah, so all the cows, look out, baby. So all of the calves and cows got out yesterday. It was quite the fiasco. It was all on a live, and but hey, Jamie and I worked together, and we got it all resolved, and everything is fine. All's well that ends well, and that's exactly what happened. It all ended well. But fun times, y'all. Fun times. Yes, that was the first shit show at the JL Ranch, and this might be the second one right here. We got some really mean longhorns who do not want these dogs hanging around. Oh no! Don't be mean to that dog. Stop, Danny. You're being mean to everybody. Settle it down, Danny. Well, they learn at a very young age how to be mean. Listen, I could crank up the side by side and leave, but how boring would that be? Let's have some fun here. And sometimes this is fun. Sometimes it's fun to watch cows be cows. I will say one more thing. One of the greatest compliments that I think a channel can get is when someone says two different things that I've read quite a bit that just really compliments the channel well. Number one thing they say is they've never had an appreciation. They've never loved an animal, a certain type of animal, until now. And there are people that absolutely love everything about these longhorns. They do. And I've always had an admiration and a fascination with them. But now there's other people who really are not cow people. They're not cattle people. And they've learned a whole lot about the beauty, the personality, their character traits of these guys and girls. And that right there to me is a testament to the power of social media. And I take it as a personal compliment that I've done my job. I've done my job to teach you all how beautiful nature and Mother Nature can be, even with animals that you may not be very familiar with. You know your dogs and your cats, and you may have your birds and different kind of animals that we've all been familiar with and been around. And now you've learned to also appreciate the beauty and the personalities of longhorn cattle, along with some ostriches. And then you've learned so much about them as far as their personalities. You empathize with them. And when you can take a person who's maybe you've never been around cattle, and yet you can feel how they feel, you you can understand their emotions, their pain, their insecurities, their fears. You've struggled and suffered with them through drought and through harsh weather. You've celebrated with them as they've given birth to new life. We've mourned, the loss of some, not longhorns, but other, I'm just meaning animals in general. Animals you've never met, you've never had a chance to love on or smell or kiss or touch. And you just love them so much. Then you know that there's some that are very feisty. This one over here is just so darn feisty. I love her, but she is the definition of diva. She is the definition of diva. And then they're just all wonderful, y'all. They're just all so wonderful. And I'm blessed to be able to be here with them every day and hang out with them and work with them, be around them, feed them, love them, get to know them. So back up at the barn, there's a couple of guys who've come by to do a job. They're trying to hook up the power from the pole to the RV. And so we'll have power. That'll be great. And then we also have Uriel, who has come by to help do some plumbing. Uriel's actually very good with plumbing. Who would have known that Uriel, with all of the things that he can do, is also good with plumbing? I know you can't see what's going on over here, but Danny is trying to tell Trixie to move along. Trixie, I'm Daddy's girl, not you. Danny, Danny, there's plenty of Lester to go around to all of y'all. I can love you all. That's what I told Ellie whenever Lex was uh, being born. I said, son, I said, don't ever think that just because there's going to be a new baby in the family that you're going to get less loving. I says, love is not like that. Love grows. Love can continue to grow. You don't stop loving one or only give one half love. Time is not like that. Time doesn't grow, but love does. You're absolutely able to love more and more and more and more. And I've been so blessed to be able to have two amazing sons, and I love them both so much. Lex will be here this weekend, and Lex has not had a chance to come to the new property yet. But I plan on bringing him tomorrow, Saturday. Girls, people think that this is weird, and I would agree. That's quite weird. I kind of associate it to a baby with a pacifier. Isn't it great that Jolene was never a bottle baby, yet she's still very gentle? So much that she's hurt me many times. She's so gentle that she's hurt me so many times. And she's trying to hurt me again right now. She's so gentle that she just loves to hurt me. Yeah, most of the other cows are I would say they're gentle-ish. They're not wild. They're not going to run when they see you. You can walk right up to any of them, but they're not going to let you walk up and just touch on them and play with them and, grab their horns and stuff. You could do it, but they're going to pull away or they're going to swipe at you a little bit. But Jolene and I have always had a special bond. So what I'm noticing over there with Wayland is that Wayland is slowly and very methodically going by. And I'm going to say this, and a lot of folks are not going to understand it, but you probably would if you it is possible for a bull to induce or to bring a female into heat. I think that everyone knows that without a bull, females will still come into heat during their regular cycles. I don't know the names. I don't know the science. I don't know exactly what you would call it, but there is a way that a bull, if he plays his cards right, can bring a female into heat. He doesn't have to wait until her time happens naturally. And so what I've noticed Waylon doing is he already was able to breed with with Pearl and Marilyn back at Longhorn Lester's. And then whenever he got here, he began to work on Gracie immediately. Gracie was his next conquest. And so I believe he's bred Gracie by now. And as of today, he's over there working on Jezebel. If you watch, he's like constantly flirting with her. That's actually without being too vulgar, I'm not trying to be vulgar, but it's kind of the same thing around the office, around the workplace. A guy flirts with you enough, if he says the right things, if he treats you the right way, if he shows the right kind of interest, he can make you slowly like weaken or soften up towards him. I'm trying to put it into the right words. And so that's what Waylon's doing over here. He's flirting, he's playful, he's following around. It might be kind of a clinger. You would call that, if you have a guy at your work who does that, you might think he's so clingy. He's so creepy. He's just always like, ugh. But female cows don't always feel that way. They kind of enjoy the attention that that the bulls will show them. And so Waylon, he knows what he's doing. Even for a young bull, he knows what he's doing. I have pictures of Waylon's mom and his dad. I remember if I had been on my computer today, I would have shown you this. But a lot of, well, there was not a lot, but there was one lady who commented, and I'm not upset about this at all. But her comment was that Waylon is not half the bull that Tex is. And so, in her opinion, we're going to lower, we're actually lowering our herd by having Waylon produce the next year's offspring. And I couldn't disagree with her more. So, yes, I'm gonna say this, and I hope that you can help me out with the words. But just because a dog might be registered doesn't automatically make that a superior dog to one who's not registered, if that makes any sense to you. Just because you may have a registered bull like Tex, and through that registration it shows his lineage, his bloodline, you kind of know what you're getting in Tex because you can see his mom, his dad, his grandma, his grandpas from both sides of the family. And so you have all of this amazing paperwork, the paper trail of who's who, and all of a sudden you spend money and you buy you a really great bull off of a great property, a ranch that's known for producing world class bulls, and so you know what you get with Tex. I absolutely get that. And so with Waylon, he's not registered. All I know is I've met his dad and I've met his mom, and they're both beautiful, beautiful longhorns, just absolutely gorgeous longhorns. And they may not be the exact same features as Tex. If you, ouch, baby, that's a little bit too hard. You do know that Tex is a little bit beefier than most longhorns. As a matter of fact, all of my cows, or besides Pearl, are a little bit chunkier than your typical longhorns with, and I like that. That's my preference. I'm glad I like it like that. And so Waylon's mom and dad are very similar to Tex as far as they're not quite as lean, they're more beefy. Oh my goodness gracious, girls, I don't know why you just think that's the funniest thing to do. But the problem is they can actually bite. If you're not careful, they can bite you. They're not trying. Right now, they're just licking. They're just licking all over me. But they can also bite. But Waylon's parents are beautiful. Waylon's mom and dad are just gorgeous. Most of y'all can remember that Waylon's mom looks a whole lot like Gracie, have a whole lot of the same markings as Gracie. And so it was funny how when Waylon first met Gracie, he was drawn to her. And even though at first we thought it was because she was the older sister to Jolene, a lot of y'all realize that he thinks that's his mama. He remembers his mom, and she reminds him of his mom. So I hope that you don't have a man who married you because you remind him of his mom. But that does happen, y'all. That does happen a lot more than what you realize. I'm sorry, ladies. But they do say that when you marry a man, all you're doing is replacing his mom, becoming his. Please, just go play, baby. Go play. Go play. Everyone wants to see you run and play. They want to see you run and play. There you go. Go run and play like a good girl. So, finally, I get a little bit of a break. No, by the time I get back, I'm hoping that the guys will have the electricity. At some point, Uriel will show up and he will have the plumbing pipe, and we'll run that pipe, water line. And then all we will not have is the septic. That's going to be more of a job. But you do have a black water tank that holds black water. And then you have a portable tank a septic tank that you hook on and transport that over to your actual septic. And so we'll do that for a while if we need to. But Jamie and I plan on staying here tonight. My mom's going to get Lex from school, and he's going to have a sleepover with Connor. And then tomorrow he'll come with me over here. So I'm excited about that. Um, a lot of people are asking about Tilly, and Lisa Ann says, "Is Tilly pregnant?" And so Lisa Ann, I put out a video this morning, I believe, yesterday on YouTube, and this morning on Facebook. And it has our vet visit with Tilly. And so instead of me giving the cliff notes, you're going to have to go watch the video. Yes, we're going to keep cameraman Ron's family in our prayers. If you guys don't know this, Ron and I were not personal friends. I met Ron one time at the video creators. Jamie and I were invited a couple of years ago to present at it was a video creators a place where people could learn how to make YouTube and Facebook videos and hopefully make a living out of it. It was there were several speakers there. Jamie and I were both presenters. You had the Arms family, you had Keeping It Dutch, you had Cog Hill Jason, and we each had an hour or so to present with slides, and all of our presentations were different of how we got started, helpful hints. And at that conference, I met Ron, and I ended up taking all of the creators out to dinner that night. Jamie and I hosted them a dinner, and so Ron joined the group, and so I got a chance to sit with Ron and talk with Ron. And Ron at that point had a small channel. I believe he's in Florida, and he was hoping to grow more of a YouTube and Facebook audience. So that was my only interaction. The only time I only met and talked with Ron. I do think that Ron was. I even said this in my comment on the video Daniel posted yesterday, that I only met Ron once, but even during that one dinner, he was absolutely the life of the party. He was funny, just a fun guy to be around. I think that he's the kind of guy that could walk into any room and lighten the room, make the room come alive. And then for Ron to pass at such a young age, it's terrifying to anybody to know that Ron seemed just, I'm not going to say he was the pinnacle of health. I don't know Ron's medical history, but like Daniel said, Ron always carried a little bit of extra weight. But to go from one day out making videos, trying to grow his channel, and then the next day he said in a video that he's not feeling well, and then a couple of days later he's on a ventilator, and now he's dead. And so he leaves behind Sarah, his wife, and some kids. I think he has 2 kids. I might be wrong, but yeah. So I don't feel the loss the way a lot of people do. To me, it's more of an eye opener to realize that, you know what, you better make sure you're enjoying and living your life to its fullest. Because just like Ron, one day we can be here and be doing fine and making videos and laughing and playing with our audience and letting our little cows bite and chew on us. And then the next, we can not be feeling so well. And a little bit later, we could actually just move on from this life to the next. It makes you want to make sure, it really does. It makes you want to make sure that you have your things in order for your family, your children especially, so that there's no confusion once you're gone. I will say that now this is nothing related to Ron. This is nothing about Ron. but it mostly goes back to my Uncle Raleigh who passed, and how horrible I feel for a lot of the family, because none of Uncle Raleigh's wishes were carried out. I don't know. I just cannot focus at all with this cat. Sweetie, remember I told you to go play? And look how sweet Danny's being over there. You know, a man can sit there and tell you, he can tell everyone he wants to what he would like to see happen once he's gone. And then if you never make it official, then once you're gone, you're not in control anymore. You're no longer in control. And so then, no matter who you've verbally told, or if you don't have things official, and so I'm not going to get into all of the family politics and with the Morrow family, but boy, it's been a mess. It's been a mess on Uncle Raleigh's side, and I will say that none or very little of what he had wished was his wishes to have happened after he passed. Nope, none of that's coming to fruition. Instead, it's a lot of selfishness, in my opinion. And so then you have to think about your own family. It's like, my dad at his age, I know that he's talked about what he would like to have happen, and he's, had some conversations about things, but I don't know, y'all. I probably shouldn't even be delving into this. This is not something that we should be talking about. We're talking about Ron, and I was saying that we just hope his family well. I know that the Arms family, because they actually have a merch shop that can make their own merch, they are going and making a T-shirt in Ron's honor, and they're saying that all of the proceeds. Look at all of the cows laying down. What does that tell you? They're not hungry. But Daniel's saying that all of the proceeds from the T-shirt sales will go straight to Ron's family. So if you guys want to go buy one of them shirts, be very careful. It was really nasty yesterday. Daniel sent me a text and he was just disgusted. Uh, Daniel had a photograph that he and DJ designed. That's his wife, and they were going to make it into a shirt, and it was going to be dedicated to cameraman Ron. And if within a few hours of that, if 20 different shirt people did not grab that exact design and jump over onto Etsy to start selling their own shirts, trying to beat Daniel's price. But the difference is, whatever people buy off of Etsy is not going to Ron's family. You're just buying a shirt that says Cameraman Ron with the design that Daniel and DJ created, and yet all of a sudden all of those proceeds are going to these different Etsy creators who are trying to make their own buck, and they're doing that off of a man's death. And whereas Daniel was trying to start a fundraiser through the shirt sales, which is a very noble thing to do, it just broke my heart to see the 20 or so Etsy pages that popped up of people trying to capitalize off of a man's death. Now, you can't stop it. I know if you go to Etsy and you look at Longhorn Lester's, there's the funniest things. There's pea patch shirts. There's Longhorn Lester caps. There's Longhorn Lester everything. But the problem with that is, yeah, you may be able to have you a Longhorn Lester's cap or a Longhorn Lester shirt, and they're copying all of our stuff, but it doesn't help us out when we do a fundraiser, when we do our annual fundraiser, and we want to, sell a few shirts and a few things here and there, and you've already found one on Etsy for $9.99. So, it is what it is. You don't have the time, the money to go buy and copyright and patent and do all of that mess. And then even if you did, who's going to go in there and police that? Who is going to go to every Etsy person who tries to do that and say, "Uh-oh, you're using a copyrighted logo. Uh-oh, you're using a copyrighted. That page is not yours. You did not coin the term PPAT." It's funny though, but the PPAT shirt that I saw, it has the blinds creeped open, and it shows an old lady eye looking out the blinds, and it says hashtag PPAT. That's a pretty creative shirt, I will say, but that's not one that we created or designed, but it is tied to our page just because people know that they can make a quick buck off anybody who wants a PPAT shirt. So now, so our prayers are with cameraman Ron and especially his family who now have to find themselves going through life, without a husband and a partner, with his wife, and then of course the kids without a dad, and then the people that follow his channel without the pride and joy and who was their, they had their daily escape through Ron and his videos. He liked fishing. He loved making videos of his adventures out in the beautiful waters around Florida. But so absolutely. So thank y'all for bringing him up. Well, friends, in all honesty, I don't really know what else to do here. We've sat, we've talked, we've shared. I will say one last thing. We have a really nice audience, so thank you all for joining in. I want to tell you about a huge scare. I can't show you right here, but I promise you I'll make a video as soon as I'm done and I'll post it. But when I got here today, there was one of our longhorns who had got its head stuck in the hay feeder, the hay ring. And I knew that was a possibility. It has always scared me. And sure enough, it happened. But I was able to get the cow out. And so you'll be happy to know that everybody's safe, everyone's fine. But it was quite the scare. I'm glad that I come here every day. And we will absolutely find a different way, a better way to put our hay into the feeders so that we don't have issues like this, because that could have been deadly. That could have been deadly. And that would have been the second uh, shit show, you might say, here to happen at the new property. So, well, all right, friends. I think I've kept you long enough. Thank y'all for watching. I want you to notice, though, just notice everyone laying around. Guys, there's no way that these cows would ever be laying around if their bellies were hungry. There's no way they would not be running to the barn when they heard me up working if their bellies were not full. They're relaxed. They're at peace. They're safe. And in that, we are just so very blessed. Just so very blessed. And we thank you all so much for being a part of this journey with us. I want to say again, and I'm never going to tire of saying this, but I just want you to know the role that you play in things like this over here. The fact that we were able to purchase this 50 acres, it is just never in my lifetime did I ever see myself being this kind of a guy who could buy land and move cows from pasture to pasture, depending on, the types of vegetation we had available. The Longhorn Lesters and the dream that's become, and the dream come true, the purchasing of that 20 acres on the Trinity River and all of the beauty, having a place for those 16 goats to go and thrive, the big birds. I don't know really how to, it's very surreal. It's just very surreal. And then the blessing of knowing that a lot of the Morrows have also been able to find themselves with an extension of our family and all of you guys, and the love and the joy that you bring to our channel and channels. the opportunities that folks like Jake and Brienne and Kim and my dad and Ellie and Megan and all of them, y'all, my mama, all of the opportunities that they have now that they would not have ever had if we had not found our way into the social media world. And so you all make that possible, and we appreciate you for what you do and for loving us and continuing to come back for more videos. You put up with the most annoying of ads. I know. I also watch YouTube videos and I see these ads come across, and I'm also equally annoyed. And I'll tell you, whenever I'm watching a video and an ad pops up, there's very few videos that I will continue to watch. I just go ahead and find something else to watch. And I know that if you guys did that, then our channels would slowly dissolve and die away. But instead, you continue to watch. And that is just a huge blessing that we have. We call it a loyal. You call that loyal. That's not my word. That's a word that Facebook and YouTube will use. You have a very loyal audience, they say, meaning that you stick with your channel, you stick with it. And so we certainly appreciate that. It's we're not deserving of all of that. Seriously, we're not. We're not going to tell you, we're not going to turn you down, but we aren't deserving of all of your love, but you give it anyway, and we thank you for that. Well, listen, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of circles here around the pasture, get back up. I'm guessing that Uriel will be here pretty soon. I will say that he's going to also work with horses this weekend. So maybe on Sunday, I can bring you a second Uriel horse work video of him doing things with horses. He's really good with the horses, and he's good with everything, really. But I'm trying to read a few comments over here. You guys are very kind. So thank you so much. Well, listen, friends, I will let you go with that. Thank y'all for watching a Friday with Longhorn Lester. We love you so much. And let me just give you a quick view of the background. Let me get my face out of it. I'm getting off the side by side. That right there are some very happy and well-fed cows. I'll walk around with them a little bit. Danny and Ruby. Don't worry, I'm going to circle around to all of them. There's Waylon. There's Jolene. Coming up close over here to Gracie. Your belly nice and full. There's Charlene and Santiana. Mom and daughter. There's Jolene. I'm sorry, there's Pearl. Hey, sweetie. I love. Oh, no. Danny and Ruby are coming. Not Danny and Ruby. And then here behind me, we got Marilyn and Jezebel and Sweet Trinity. All right. Hi, Trinity. You're a good girl. We love you. And there's Ruby. There's Ruby. Baby, go back and lay down. Go lay down, sweetie. Please, lay down. Don't you do it. Oh, Lord. Girls, be sweet to Daddy. I'm fragile. You know, Daddy's fragile, girls. Christmas, help me, Christmas. Chrissy, you can help me. instead of jumping on me too. Thank you, Crispy. All right, we're leaving, folks. Thank y'all for watching, and we will catch you guys on the next video, huh? Y'all have a blessed day.